the
We are
walls.
strong, we are tough, and if necessary, we'll eat you up alive. And to a certain extent, that succeeded. I mean, there was a wave of horror and fear. They eat us. And if they're eating us dead tomorrow, they might eat us alive.
To the leaders of the crusade, the barbarity that took place at Marat proved that their troops wouldn't tolerate any more delays. The time had come to fulfill their vows and seize the city that had inspired them to risk everything in the name of God. It made no difference that Jerusalem had recently fallen into the control of a far more conciliatory Muslim power, the Fatimids of Egypt, and that they were calling for peace.
See, that's where the whole Islam demonstration came from. The ancient combatants that the Greeks called Egypt once they went in there and pillaged and plundered it, like they pillaged and plundered everything all over Europe. The Greeks and the Romans, who called themselves all type of different names to hide their unique collectiveness. It's all of Europe altogether. We all know that. I don't care if you do give yourselves different names. It's all white people working together as a team to steal everything from all non-white people on earth. And then you guys even have your little secret societies where you gang up and double team yourselves. It's just called really foolish white man propaganda, greed, and destruction, and deviltry. Devilness, evil, wickedness is what it is. That's all it is, and you all are going to pay for it.
In June 1099, 13,000 crusaders, less than a quarter of the number that had...
When they say crusaders, let's use the word murdering criminals. Okay, don't use crusade as too nice of a word. These mean 13,000 murdering criminals is what they are.
Originally set out from Europe, arrived at the gates of the city where Jesus Christ had died.
When the Crusaders reached the walls of Jerusalem, they finally arrived at their goal.
Okay, you see these walls right here? The white people did not build these walls. These walls were built around this city by the black people who lived in this city. They constantly had to fight these guys trying to get into their city. Eventually, they did and took the city over. But these brick walls were built by African men and women and children to put a barrier between their black selves and these white bastards right here, who's sitting up now at this wall, praying to it and everything, trying to take credit for building it, and they did not build it. This is ancient Kemetic architecture right here. Even though they claim it, just like they claimed everything else they stolen around the earth, they did not build this wall. This wall was built by Africans. They just stole it. He knows that. Just as well as you see Assange Fowlers in the Vatican, they didn't hide that. They didn't hide anything because they're infallible. And they got the whole Christian race of bullshit around them that even though I tell you right now that this wall was stolen from the original owners, the African people, nothing's going to get done about it. That's why the universe is just going to kill all of them in their lying ass Bible.
For 3 years, 3,000 miles marching, the most incredible suffering, terrible, terrible losses, they'd arrived at the holy city. Some were so overwhelmed.
See, they arrived at the holy city that wasn't even holy yet because they hadn't got it yet. So they came and stole it from someone else and then called it the holy city that they pillaged and stole it. And then had the nerves to call it holy. It was holy when the black people who lived in there lived there. It ain't holy no more after all the shit they've done.
With emotion, they wept. Others prostrated themselves on the ground. But now, of course, the hardest task of all faced them. They had to break in.
Just like white people come to your house, police uniforms on, with their God permission, and just kick your door in with their phony ass documents. See, that's the only thing they had to say was, we're on a mission from God, and I gave them every permission that they needed to go commit all these crimes. You heard what he said, to break the door in, which means that before you white people occupied Jerusalem, there was someone there before you who you had to break the door into their house and come in and steal everything. Fucking thieves.
After 3 years of fighting, the Crusader army prepared to attack Jerusalem. The walls were 50 feet high and 10 feet thick.
And they didn't build them. The Africans built them.
They would need ladders and siege towers. But the Muslim defenders had razed the entire surrounding area of trees.
The Muslims were the original black people.
The Christians sent out foraging parties to scavenge for wood. Hidden in a hole in the ground they found 400 pieces of ready-prepared timber. It seemed, once again, God was giving them a helping hand.
See, they want to tell you that, but that's not what happened. It was evil giving them a helping hand. It was evil giving them all of the opportunity necessary to set themselves up so when the day comes, they can show them what they did. What they did. What you think they did with the wood? I'll tell you what they did. They took the wood and started fires so they could burn the door down and get into the place.
It was enough timber to build 2 50-foot siege towers with which to attack the walls of Jerusalem.
Told you.
Everything was in place for the final showdown. On the 14th of July, 1099, the Crusaders launched a 2-pronged assault.
The Crusader, remember what they are. They're murdering criminals. They're going to make you seem like these people are doing a justified thing because they say they're doing it in the name of God. This is how the white man get down. So everybody that's white that's watching this is going to believe that this is something other than these people coming here, breaking into the stronghold citadel of the people who built this wall because they knew they were coming. Okay, this is nothing godly about this. This is white men coming into the lands of black men trying to murder them. This is like, these walls were built by original black men. No Arabs, no Muslim Arabs, white men, or none of that. This is when the white man came and stole this land from the black man. These walls were built by African people, not white men. These white men that's here now is coming, doing what they've done forever on this earth, came to our lands where we had went through great feats of construction and engineering and set up civilized existences for ourselves, and these bastards came and ruined it, took us into exile, stole our building knowledge, wrote their Bible bullshit propaganda, and to this day is still victimizing us. To this day.
2 siege towers were rolled into place, one to the northwest and the other to the south of the city. The Muslim defenders knew if just one tower breached the walls, Jerusalem would fall.
You can look up at these walls and imagine missiles, stones, arrows raining down upon you.
Let me explain it to you in a more elaborate term. See, they fought outside before they made it to that wall. They had all type of people that went out and met them in battle out in the field. The problem was it was the whole collectiveness of Europe that had waged a propaganda of a campaign to come and steal everything from the black people. But while they campaigned to do this and involved their whole collective Europeness, the black people were sitting around not having a clue what was coming at them. But then the reason why they were able to win is because the problem with the black people is that they didn't unite. When these white people was going over taking little small pockets of land away from black people, they all sat around and thought it wasn't their problem. But it just kept spreading and kept spreading and kept spreading all the way down here to the Americas. And it kept spreading because the people that they conquered, they killed all the men and raped all the women and made the women have children, Mexicans and Arabs, that they turned against black people and built them extra support. And that's what's wrong with the world today. You got all these people on the earth who wants to be white and follow the white man as God. And that's the only reason why we have so much gun violence, so much drugs, so much homosexuality, so much poverty, so much everything, because the white man is in control and leading everyone down the road of despair and death, just like he led these people right here to do the horrible shit that you see right now. See, this is all he did. This is his whole history on the earth. This is all he's capable of presenting. This is his limitation.
Was barbaric and intense. And at one point, the Crusaders gave the phrase live ammunition its literal meaning. They captured a Muslim, strapped him to a catapult, and fired him back over the walls.
To the south, the Muslims pelted the first siege tower with pots of oil and flaming bolts, until finally it went up in flames.
And see, this is what they always want to do. You got to be a Muslim or no good Indian or a nigger or a color, everything but a God. And when you come around and say you God, no, you can't be God, because see, only Jesus can be God. And we'll prove that to you, because if you don't go along with the Jesus shit, we'll come and burn your shit up. That's who you're dealing with these motherfuckers on earth. And they getting ready to be killed. And I'm so happy, because I'm knowing that once they're all gone, people can actually start to live on this earth again. And if this earth has to drown every person on it and start over fresh. So these bastards could be wiped the hell out of here and people could be able to support themselves and have jobs and we can grow trees and everybody don't have to be victimized and not having anything to sit around with low-spirited, low-limited thinking as monsters on earth like this have control over all the brilliant minds on earth and don't want to do nothing but kill them or put them in prison. These motherfuckers gotta go. That's all to it. Too much of it. Just too damn much.
Only one siege tower was left, to the northwest of the city, under the command of the revered Crusader General, Duke Godfrey.
It's a damn shame. That's all they can do.
Godfrey decided upon a change of
Generals and commanders.
Here, an eyewitness
Fucking
account
murderers.
written
That's all
by
they
a man
are.
called Raymond of Aguirre. This is what he said. Godfrey moved to a position between the Church of the Blessed Stephen and the Valley of Josaphat.
Godfrey's plan was inspired. He had found the weak spot in the Muslim.
See, here's the deal. They make their murderers seem so good. He had found the weak. Listen, this man is committing a crime, okay? You should be talking real bad and scornfully about him. Look, they're glamorizing what he did because they know it's a secret code to say, yeah, we murdered all these niggas and stole all this shit. That's all you're looking at. He won't say Muslim, he won't say Moors, or he won't say black man. But that's what it boils down to. White men coming to the land of black men, disrespecting us, using everything in their power, their Bible and the swords and manpower, everything to create decadence and war circumstances all around the planet. From here right now, back in history, as you look at that right now, to today, as they sit here now talking about what they're going to do to Korea if Korea don't comply. Korea got a fucking slingshot, okay? These bastards got AK-40. We seen what they got. I just showed you those white men with their guns and all the shit they got. They can show you all that shit that they have. But then North Korea can't have anything or do anything, you know. And then they got a whole history of this bullshit. Plus the police and everybody, it's a part of their silly. It's nothing but murdering thieves. That's all their whole nationalism is. And you can't get mad at me because you know that yourself. You are the best murderers and thieves on the planet and always trying to point your finger at someone else. Your whole history is nothing but this barbaric shit right here.
Fortifications. But it was over a mile round to the northeast of the city. In the course of just a few hours, and under the cover of darkness, he had his men wheel the whole siege tower to the less defended part of the wall.
See, to this
Here we
day,
are, the spot that the Crusaders broke into Jerusalem.
see, how does he know that? Is the spot there right now? How does he know? I mean, how does he know? Do you see the wall, how tall it is? Do you understand the fact that it took a long time to build that wall? You can see these type of building structures all around Egypt. Egypt went up into Europe with the white people and taught them how to build all these structures. Didn't do us no good because they used their information to build prisons to lock our black asses up in. Some fucked up people, boy.
The Muslims mounted one last-ditch attempt to destroy Godfrey's siege tower.
They used grappling irons to try and snare the tower, to use the hooks to catch the wood, and then remarkably to pull the thing over. To counter this, the Crusaders had an enormous scythe made that would cut through these ropes. At one moment there was a brief fire there up on the walls. Godfrey saw this and lowered a makeshift bridge from his tower onto the battlements.